All right, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. Apologies for the scheduling conflicts. But I hope that all of our agencies were able to make one of the 4 trainings. And if not, or if you have other staff that maybe need to view this training, we can set up a one-on-one with them. So today we're going to be covering the SFY2025 grant instructions and requirements, or GIRs, as we like to use our acronyms here. My name is Carla Delgado. I'm the management analyst for the unit. And Yara Seth may be joining us this afternoon, or maybe not. Our agenda today will cover the GMU team introduction, our grant instructions and requirements, and we'll go into the different sections of the GIRs, as well as the acknowledgement form. I'll also be discussing information in regards to way to enroll staff into our new listserv and some changes with the emails that we will be using here in the future. Our unit has combined from being split between child welfare and victim services. And so we are now one big unit, one big family. We have our social services chief, who is Yaraseth Anaya Lugo, and the management analyst 4 was me. I have a social services specialist 3, Elena Espinoza, analyst, who is John Aragon, a grants and project analyst 2, Michael Guerra, and we have new to our team, Michaela Tran. She's our grants and projects analyst trainee. And we also have our MA2, which is Sharon Usher. We do currently have 2 vacant positions, a social services specialist 3 position and a grants and projects analyst 2 position. Those will be posted to our DCFS job posting website, which we use, and it's called NV Apps, I believe. These are the grants that the grants management unit oversees. They're the ones with the asterisk. So we had the Children's Trust Fund, the Community-Based Child Abuse Prevention, or CDCAP, and Title 4B, Subpart 2, Promoting Safe and Stable Families, or as we refer to it, 4B2. And then these are the victim services grants that we oversee, which many of you may be more familiar with. We have our Family Violence Prevention and Services Act, or FVPSA, the American Rescue Plan, or ARP, FVPSA for domestic violence, sexual assault, and testing. And we also have the Victims of Crime Act Assistance, which is VOCA, the American Rescue Plan Act, or our ARPA grants, or also known as CRG grants too, and the Victims of Domestic Violence or Sexual Violence, which is the state-funded award or state-funded grant that we oversee, which is also referred to as marriage license.
Yes.
So the GIRs, the grants instruction and requirements have been adopted to provide our subrecipients with essential information that's relative to the financial and administrative requirements for the programs funded through the GMU. The GIRs apply to all of our subrecipients. This edition of the GIRs applies to grants awarded from July 1st, 2024 for the performance period of state fiscal year 2025. The GIRs are updated annually every July. So every July, August timeframe, end of summer, we will be requesting that the agencies sign an acknowledgement and send that in for the award year that we're in. The administrative section of the GIRs covers the GIRs defined, the grantor and subrecipient defined, and all other administrative requirements that we ask our subrecipients to follow in regards to any of the funding that is awarded to them. documents. So that has information on the record retention timeframes, and a really important one is number 6, the subrecipient rights and responsibilities. So what requires prior written approval, the Nevada 211 requirement, things like that. So please ensure that you and your staff, fiscal and programmatic, are all aware and have read through the GIRs, because it's a very helpful tool in the grant management process for everyone. We go into the fiscal section. So fiscal requirements are included in the GIR section 8 through 21. And for this one, it goes through anything from the risk designation and the resulting monitor from the agency risk levels, information about credit cards, procedures that are required for the management of credit cards, different things about cost allocation, direct and indirect cost, and allocability of costs and different things like that. Then we go into the equipment and document section, and that one has 22 through 25, and it just walks you through what the requirements are if you do purchase equipment using state awarded funds too. And lastly, the monitoring and corrective actions. So the risk assessment reports that are due, procedures for fiscal monitoring, and what we will do when we go out and do a programmatic site visit, and any corrective actions that would be a follow-up from a finding or something that we identified in one of those monitoring. One note here is for our quarterly reports for this upcoming year, it's going to change. We're going to stop using the Excel spreadsheet, and it's going to be an online form. The first one that we are updating is for our SFY2025 VOCA award, and that one will, it's right now being approved or going through the approval process with the Office of Victims of Crime. And once we get the final approval, then we will be sending it out to our subrecipients so they have the new form. So please be on the lookout for that email. Like I said, it's still in draft form, but it should be ready hopefully by the end of this month. This is what the acknowledgement form looks like. It's the last page of the GIRs policy. It walks you through the effective date, and then we do ask that an agency representative sign and date this. For agencies that receive more than one award, or for any awards, if you could just outline either handwrite or type in to the acknowledgement form the awards that this is covering, then we will only ask that you submit one acknowledgement form for all of your awards. We are having a change to the way that our email communication is should be coming in from our subrecipients. So the Nevada Victim Services at DCFS.nv.gov inbox is being phased out. It will be deactivated in December of this year. We are giving it a couple months just to make sure that everybody gets the information so they know how to submit the any email communication to us. So the two new inboxes, or new to victim services inboxes, will be the funds request at dcfs.gov. This email is only for RFR submissions. So anything that has to do with a request for reimbursement will go to that inbox. And for any other a question, an application in regards, after a notice of funding opportunity, any other correspondence or communication can be sent to DCFS grants at dcfs.nv.gov. check the chat. Is there any questions so far? Amy. And please feel free to unmute yourself if you do have a question about any of the things that I've discussed so far. In addition to the new emails, we have a new process for adding yourself to the different notice of funding opportunity listservs. So it's 2 separate links depending on if you want to be notified for anything that has to do with victim services grants or the child welfare grants. We are keeping these separate. It's not going to be one combined just because not every agency applies or qualifies for all of the grants. This way, we hopefully keep down the number of emails that we send out into your inbox. The HAL form is an electronic form. It does allow for up to 2 people to be able to be listed per form. If you have additional staff that you want from your agency to be receiving this information, you will have to submit an additional form for them. So that is the presentation part. I will sharing, and then I'm going to go through and anyone have any questions while I pull this up? So far. So this is what the GIRs policy looks like. It's very clear and concise. It's page is that acknowledgement form that the agency needs to submit. So if any of you have not submitted it yet, if you could please get a signed form to us by Monday, if possible, that would be great. I will be emailing out the slides, a copy of the GIRs, a copy of the acknowledgement after this. So we've been having some issues with people not being able to open the documents when we put them into Teams. So I will ensure that a copy of all of the information is provided to you so you have those links. This is what the electronic form looks like for the request to be added to the listserv. So like I stated, this is the one for the victim services grants. We ask for you to fill out the agency name, first and last name, position, and email, and it's for up to 2 people. And you can just submit it and we will have it update our list. We understand that there are changes that happen throughout the agencies throughout the year. So just email myself or Yara and we can update the names to remove someone. If you do want to add someone, please use this form. But if you need to remove someone, just let us know via email. This page looks like here.
Carla?
Yes.
Did you say where that form is? I was looking to see if I could access it real quick.
The acknowledgement form or the HAL form?
The NOFO information form that we have to fill out?
The link is in the link is in the PowerPoint presentation, but I will send it out after the email. It doesn't live on our website right now.
Oh, okay, perfect. Sorry, yeah. I missed that.
No worries. I didn't mention it. So thank you for bringing it up.
Okay.
So this is the DCFS website. If you go into programs and grant management unit, this is where you'll see information in regards to our grants management unit. We are still working and updating the website, so please bear with us while we combine the pages. So right now they're still a little bit split. But if you ever need something or can't find something on the website or need an editable version of something, just uh, email me or anyone on the team, and we can get you a copy of whatever you. So here on the top right is the updated GIRs. And so this, if you ever need an additional copy for someone, you can always get it here. And this one lists out our notice of funding opportunities are at the very top. So our FIPSO for SFY2025 is out. We are accepting applications until October 9th. So please get your applications in so that we can get you some more funding. We do have some specific child welfare trainings here. And then this is the page that houses all of our child welfare grant information. If you scroll to the middle of the page, you will see the GNU unit forms. And so this has a copy of the agency self-assessment form, the scope of work that will allow you to go in and update the budget narrative form and see Title 4B2, then the referral number report. That's a requirement for that funding, and the travel request. Now, this one does say child welfare, but it should be okay for both child welfare and victim services grants. We also have a community services directory here. And this is really nice because basically Yada Seth put together a directory for all of the subgrantees that are receiving child welfare funding. She did was she broke it down so that if any of the agencies needed to make a referral, something else within the community, this would be an easier way to find out what is being funded through DCFS to be able to provide these services for children and families throughout the state. And so, thorough document. We will be sending out and asking that the victim services agencies also complete an update so that we can include your agencies and your services into this service directory. So it is a lot of work. And we understand that the ask is huge for our agencies, but I think overall, if we have something developed where we can share it with all of our subgrantees, any family resource centers out there, schools, etc., I think that this would be very helpful to our communities so that we can ensure that everybody is getting the services that they need. A good document to review, go through. Does it by the funding source? It describes what services are being provided, and then it goes into specifically the agency information and the services that they provide for that specific funding source. So, for example, if you are an victim services agency that receives marriage license and VOCA, we would ask that you provide an update for each funding source so that we can include your information in that specific section of this report. So that'll be coming out in the future. I'm not sure when that email will be sent, maybe at the beginning of the year. And then we also include information about civil rights, how to submit a complaint, the grievance process, and there is the link to our Victim Services Grant Management Unit website. This one will be going away as it merges into the overall website page. But here's where you can find any previous webinars that were recorded and information in regards to the victim services grants. So any questions about the website? No, let's make sure Danica, I know it's a lot. But I think if you are able to review and read the GIRs, it will make a lot of sense into what the requirements are. And of course, anytime you need additional assistance with anything or clarification, please feel free to reach out to any of us if we can help walk you through any. Understand that it is a lot. Comment. There will be an update to the GIRs page numbers, not the content. So we did get notification that the page numbers are off in reference to the table of contents in the GIRs. So that will be updated here quickly so that we can have all of those page numbers correspond with where exactly each of the that'll be updated on the website. But for the purposes of you reviewing the GIRS that is sent out today to you and the acknowledgement form, all of that information is correct. Agency signed acknowledgement form by next week. We would greatly appreciate that. If you have any questions in regards to of our programs, awards, anything like that, please reach out. We're here to assist you in any way that we can. So thank you all for joining us today. And if there are staff that were not able to attend any of the 4 webinars, please let me know and we can schedule a one-on-one with anyone of your age to make sure that people can go through this. I'm not sure if we will be posting any of these websites, or sorry, any of the webinars to the website. Read them just so that we can have notes after the fact.
Carla?
Yes.
There was another set of trainings end of August that I missed. Was that kind of the same, pretty much the same content?
No, so this one is specific to the GIRs. I believe the one in August was, let me double check. I believe that one was the workbook or the RFR training.
Yeah, okay. I'd need to do that one. I was out of town all week.
Okay. Okay, if you want to send me an email,
okay,
then we can get that scheduled for you.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, perfect. There's no additional requests, comments, questions, concerns. So thank you everyone for joining us today. And I hope that get to review the GIRs and that it's helpful to all of you in your grant management. Everyone, have a good rest of your week and have a great weekend.